son-in-laws cannot be easily sent out. One side, we are sympathetic, after all, he's my son-in-law. But at the same time, he is a mischief maker. He is a useless fellow. And he had to be sent out with my daughter out. But he won't easily go. So too your ego. You know that the ego is giving all the troubles of life. I want to give it up. You may push him. By evening dinner time, he is back again. Shamelessly, the ego will be back again. So how are we to give it up? It is in our intellect. The intellect has accepted the idea that I am the body, full stop. There rises the ego. Then the ego, in their identification with the body, keeps his relationship with various objects and things and beings in around the world. Some conducive, some not so conducive. Some things I like, some things I hate. And then runs away from what I hate and runs towards what I love. This is called the tension in life. Having even known that the ego is a delusory nothingness, it is a misconception, it is a wrong judgment, it is not there, even after knowing it, I can't drop it. I may drop, but it won't leave you. In the Himalayas, on the Ganges banks, in summer, the bear goes up because it's too hot for them, very thick skin and hair, it's very hot, and therefore it goes up to the Gangotri, beyond that cool place. When winter starts, it's too cold and uncomfortable for it, and therefore it has to come down. Coming down is free transport. The bear falls into the Ganges and just floats, and the Ganges brings them back. And when he feels the right warmth on the back, he walks into the forest and stays there, comfortable climatic condition. A brahmachari was meditating. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, the 5 koshas beyond that. Brahma tattvamasi bhavaya. Open the eyes. What does he see? Lord's blessing. Last year in winter also I suffered because all my blankets have got cross ventilation. It's old and broken down, therefore the breeze was coming in. And I said, oh Lord, can't you not give me a blanket? And what do I see? In the Ganges, while meditating, a good blanket is coming out. Immediately he threw his dhoti, jumped into the Ganges, swam, and he says, oh, the carpet is going faster than me. And caught the carpet and want to pull it. It is then that the bear felt, what is it? Something is pulling me. So the bear caught the brahmachari. Suddenly brahmachari's jnana has come. That this is not what I thought. This is not necessary, I don't want it. You leave the bear, but the bear is not going to leave you. You realize the ego is dangerous. You want to drop it. You may drop it. I am not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. I am not the body, not the mind, not the intellect. Yeah. Even though one place you say, I am not the body, mind, and intellect, and yet you try to make it more comfortable, the body. Ego will not leave. So how am I to give up this ego? Is some tips are given that maybe if you try, maybe the ego might end in you.
Santhyanye paribandhah pumsah samsara hetavo drishtaah tesham moolam prathama vikaro bhavatyahankarah.
Sandhi, certainly there are. Sandhi, they are there. Anyaha, very many. Pratibandha, obstacles on the path of your spiritual path. There are very many. Illness comes, disease comes, sorrow comes, pain comes, and others are angry with your meditation. Or you can't meditate because one brahmachari has stupidly understood that he can sing well. So he sings. Others meditate. No, you can't tell him, don't sing. After all, he has come for, left everything in the world and came into the ashram. For what? To disturb others. He could go to the forest and sing, let the trees be benefited. No. And if he is tired of singing, he has got a radio, a tape. Oh, no. The other man is trying to meditate. A consideration for others, obstacle. Swamiji, sab kuch chhod ke I came into the Himalayas. Even here, I am not allowed. Obstacle. Why? Prarabdha. You understand? Very many obstacles can come. Sickness can come. Therefore, you can't attend the class. Dysentery. And only when class is going on, you have to run. What to do? Why? Pratibandh. One obstacle that you should not study it. You should not read. It goes on. Niravadhi, innumerable obstacles can rise in the path of spirituality. Pumsa for a man, samsara hetavo drishtaah. So, which are the cause for your samsara, meaning you are again and again pushed into the world of plurality and change, and you can't come out of it. You are trying to come out of it, but obstacle after obstacle comes. It is true. But even though all the varieties, endless varieties of obstacles come to persecute you, to stop you from meditation or your spiritual path, tesham ekam moolam. But among them all, there is one which is the root of everything. It is from there that various endless varieties of obstacles arise, the root. And if that root is removed, everything is removed. The source of all obstacles is prathama vikara, the first vikara, the first expression, manifestation or modification, apparent modification of the Supreme Consciousness is bhavatyahankara. This idea, I am the body, mind, and intellect. This I idea was there with you. I am Paramatma. Aham Brahmasmi. That was the idea. But then from there you slip and got, I am the body, mind, and intellect. This little ego is the very source of all obstacles. It is unnecessary for you to trouble others, saying that it is because of the world, because of my wife, because of my children, because of my brother-in-law, father-in-law. You generally point out to somebody the cause for it. The government is disturbing me, but no, what is disturbing is the source, is the root cause for everything is this stupid ego. Ego meaning, I am conscious of the body, the mind, the intellect, and through them the world of objects, emotions, thoughts, and I am identified with it. Full stop. This is the very source of all your sorrows.
यावत् स्यात् स्वस्य सम्बन्धः अहङ्कारेण दुरात्मना तावन्न लेशमात्रापि मुक्तिवार्ता विलक्षणा
Yavat syad, in case, as long as you have got identification with this ego, identification with the BMI. Therefore, what is called that identification, conscious identification is called ego, ego conditioned by the BMI. As long as it is, sambandha, you have got a contact with it, ahankarena duratmana. This vile, cruel, criminal, self-destructive ego, as long as you have got a contact with it. Tavat, so long. Na leshamatra, even an iota of chance. Not that you have no chance, not an iota. Maybe, Swamiji, with ego a little spiritual unfoldment? No. So long as you have got this contact with the ego, leshamatra api, even a wee bit of it, mukti varta vilakshana. There is no varta, not even a talk of mukti, liberation. So long as you have got even an idea. Mukti varta, there is not even a talk of mukti. Why? Because that liberation or the idea of that state is vilakshana. It is something other than the Veka and Veka's experience, other than the ego and ego's experience. So long as you are holding on to the dream, where is waking? Waking is vilakshana. It's something other than the dreamer. The dreamer and the dream world. You cannot wake up until you give up everything of the dream and the concept that I am the dreamer. Everything of the waking state will have to be given up in order to reach sleep. Movement from one plane of consciousness to another is not possible unless you have cleansed off the previous state of consciousness. So until the ego that is playing about in the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper, waker, totally ended. You cannot awake into that pure state of freedom. Therefore, there is not even a varta. Not even, you can't even open your mouth and speak about it. About what? About, Swamiji, my moksha come. When will my moksha come? It will not come. Why? My moksha, when will it come? Is I want to know my moksha. My, so long as there, it cannot come. Not even an iota. Surrender yourself. Maybe through devotion. Total surrender, or through understanding, awake into the new dimension of consciousness. Yoga.
Ahankara grahan muktaha Swarupamupapadyate Chandravad vimalah purnaha Sadananda swayam prabha.
Lunar eclipse. You must have seen that. Sometimes the moon gets dark and covered by a shade or darkness, and it is called a grahana. And the Indian mythology picturizes it for us that it is because Rahu, a serpent, which unfortunately has got only a head, it is swallowing the sun or the moon. It appears also, a round thing, slowly coming and covering it. Luckily, since Rahu has not got esophagus and a belly and the intestines, he has got only a head, and therefore it comes out. Supposing you have got only a head, try to drink a glass of water. You will spoil the whole place where you are standing because it will come out. Where will it go? Thus the Rahu, the shade, comes and covers it, and the mochana, the moon merges out. This is called the lunar eclipse, not solar. Solar is the sun. Now here he says this ego graha. Graha also is another meaning. Graha, crocodile or the shark. Now, when you are caught by the ego, ahankara grahan muktaha, when you get liberated from it, swarupam upapadyate, you reach the pure swarup, your own true nature. So all that you are now suffering is atma grahana. It's not solar grahana, it's not lunar grahana, atma grahana. Atman you cannot see. Why? Because the ego is running. This Rahu that is eating up the sun or the moon is an apparent illusion. It is not real. In our non-apprehension or understanding of what is happening, you seem to see that there is a cloud, a darkness or a shade coming and covering the sun and the moon. And the fool would say, the moon has been eaten up, half eaten up, 3/4 eaten up, fully eaten up. How? Luckily, quarter has emerged, half is emerged, fully emerged. In all this time, the stupid Brahmin has to take a bath in the sea. You see? It's perfectly right. It is a picture of your own spiritual happening projected in nature, and therefore Rishis made it into a ritual that at that time don't eat anything because you are in Grahana. When Grahana started, even children are not given anything to eat. And slowly, meaning so long as the ego is covering your Atman, the self, don't indulge any more in sensuality. Why? Because then you will be swallowed up. It's all poison. See that? Association. Right. So then Atman, the self, seems to be covered by the shadow called the Graha, the Rahu, the shadow. The shadow is only the shadow of the earth falling on the moon, because the sun, the earth and the moon are in one line. The moon has no light of its own. It is only reflecting the sunlight. And when the sun and the earth and the moon are in one line, the sun's light cannot reach the moon because of the shadow of the earth. Earth is happened to be round, and therefore its shadow also is round. your shadow can never be like a cow. You see? Your shadow will be like a human being. It cannot be anything else. Similarly, the earth's shadow, round, and that seems to be covering the moon. And then it's not, everything is not standing there. So the moon is moving around the earth. The earth and the moon is going around the sun. Everything is in motion. And therefore, when the moon moves away from the earth, the shadow, it becomes released. Atman, the self, is all-pervading. But it is shaded by your stupid ego. So when the ego is moved away, the Atman, the self, becomes self-evident. Chandravad Vimala Purnaha. As the grahana is ended, when the shadow is gone away, the full moon, let us say, Purnaha, Vimalaha, without any mala, without any covering. Purnaha, Paripurna, in fullness of his glory. Sadananda, Sada at all times giving ananda, happiness to everybody. Swayam Prabha, self-effulgent. We need not take it. They go torchily out. Let us see whether the grahana is over or not. No, because the moon is the source of light. It becomes in the same way. When the ego is moved, surrendered, the Atman, the self, is self-evident in all his fullness. And in that one split moment you realize that the Atman in me is the Brahman, the Atman everywhere, the substratum for the whole universe. The universe was only an apparent illusion. I have emerged out of it. Thus, with a metaphorical usage of the grahana, the teacher tries to point out that all that you have to do is remove the ego. The Atman, the self, the Lord God is just standing behind your ego. Surrender the ego by devotion or eliminate the ego through understanding. Jati niti kula kurta rupaka. Brahma tattvamasi bhavayatmani. By this process, when you remove that ego, that false misconception that I am a limited entity, which is nothing but the consciousness which is my true nature identifying with the BMI, when it is ended, the pure self becomes self-evident.
यो वा पुरे सोऽहमिति प्रतीतः बुद्ध्या प्रक्लृप्तस्तमसाति मूढया तस्यैव निशेषतया विनाशे ब्रह्मात्मभावः प्रतिबन्धशून्यः.
Yo, whoever he be, whatever it be, that which Pure in this city is a Vedantic and Vedic tradition to consider this your equipment body as a Pura, a city. In good old days, the cities are where the king lives with the ministers. And the cities are protected by huge fortresses all around. The fortresses have doors, and those doors are closed in the night, and early morning it is opened up. When the doors are opened up, the outer world of businessmen and others can enter the city and do their transactions and business. When the time for closing the door has come, it will be announced loudly along the streets everywhere that those who want to go, go, now time for closing the doors. And everybody runs out and the doors are all closed. The bridge has been lifted. Nobody from outside can enter. It's for the security of the city. The same the rishis found in you. This mud-plastered, made up of silicon dioxide earth, the body, which has got the 5 great gateways, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin, and they in the evening generally closes down and all your transaction with the world outside ends, except that you contribute to disturbances for others who are sleeping in the same room. Isn't it? But as far as you are concerned, you have no more contact in the world. Early morning, the doors are opened, bridges are lowered, and you transact with the whole world outside. Thus, in the Vedic tradition and phraseology, Pure means this in this body. Yova Pure Sohamiti Pratita. In this Puri, every one of you is experiencing the idea that I. You know? However international you may be, purely secular you are, you have no identification with the caste or the creed or the culture, you are international, yet when you say I, you mean only your body. You can't be living in somebody's body even for a moment. No, for visiting I came to your body. Who? I can't come to your body and claim it even for a visit. I have to be satisfied with myself. This is the state where from where I contact the world outside. I have no other place to go except my own body. This entity called I, the conscious individuality, who exists and functions in this puri, in your body, buddhya praklaptaha. Hey, where did it come from? Your buddhi. Your intellect has assumed that I am the body, mind and intellect. But Swamiji, if I am Brahman, how is it that I started thinking that I am the body, mind and intellect? Tamasa. By the tamas. By the non-apprehension of the higher, your mind projected the BMI and the intellect has assumed to itself that I am the physical, the psychological and the intellectual being or entity, individuality. Ati mudhaya. A tamas when you come. Why should the tamas misunderstand? It has no capacity to understand anything. The incapacity to understand anything is called a tamas. Ignorance, nescience. Thus, due to the non-apprehension of reality, the play of tamas in your intellect, the mind projects, and in that dull intellect, you have assumed that I am the body, mind, and intellect. You have not thought over that the BMI is only a projection, a misapprehension projected by the mind. Ati mudhaya, extremely stupid, is tamasic mood. So that due to the tamas functioning in the intellect, the mind projects. And after projecting, that stupid, drunken mind, dulled by tamas, has assumed, jumped into the conclusion, what? That I am the body, I am the mind, I am the intellect. Tasyeva nisheshadaya vinashe. This misconception is called the ego. Tasya, for this, of this ego, seva, nishesha, without any trace in it, vinasha. When that ego is ended, you have dropped that. I am not the body or mind or intellect. You remember that monkey? Putting the hand into the surai and trying to take a handful of roasted, and the people are started beating. You cry, oh Lord, what have I done that I should suffer like that? Ayah, ayah! But you won't come. Why? Until at last, when it was on the point of the vertebral column breaking, he drops it. And the hand came out. So long as you are identifying that I am the body, mind and intellect, this is the ego. You can't come out of samsara. You are caught up. And the samskar, leisurely, whenever free, kick you. And you cry, ayah, ayah. And the samsara goes on kicking you. When you are kicking of your husband is over, the mother-in-law starts. Mother-in-law is over, father-in-law starts. Father-in-law is over, neighbor starts. Neighbor starts, government starts. Government starts, guru starts. Everybody kick, oh, kick. From right to left, blue you become, but you won't leave. How to get freedom? Leave this misconception that I am the body, mind and intellect. That handful of gram, you just leave. You are free. You were free before. The monkey was free. I came there, no harm. He smelled, no harm. He felt that it's beautiful smell, no harm. He put his hand, no harm. Then he caught it, the ego. Thereafter, he cannot release it. And anybody can kick him, even a baby can kick him. He can only maximum grin at you and try to frighten you. But he won't go until he leaves it. The hand is free. Similarly, when the moment you have given up your misconception that I am the body, mind and intellect, the ego is gone. The ego is gone. Atman, the self, is there all the time. Then you say that, ayah, what a sucker I was made by this maya. No, Brahmatma bhava pradibandha shunya. Once this is removed, there is no pradibandha. There is nobody stopping you from realizing it. It is you yourself. Who stops you from waking up from the dream? Nobody is stopping you. It's you yourself. Thus, without any pradibandha, without any, its ego is the pradibandha, you try to avoid it.
ब्रह्मानंद निधिर महाबलवता अहंकार घोराहिना संवेष्ट्यात्मनि रक्ष्यते गुणमयैः
गुणमयैः
चण्डैस्त्रिभिर्मस्तकैः
छण्डैस्त्रिभिर्मस्तकैः
विज्ञानाख्यमहासिना श्रुतिमता विच्छिद्य शीर्षत्रयम् निर्मूल्याहिमिमं निधिं सुखकरम् धीरोऽनुभोक्तुं क्षमः.
Wherever there is a treasure, very rich treasure, kept under the earth for a long period of time, nobody has disturbed it. In all such places, you will find a real snake sitting there. Why? Because he knows, he has watched that nobody disturbs him. Why is it the birds are coming here? They know that throughout the night we don't disturb them, therefore they are here. So the snake goes there and stays where there is a treasure for a long period of time, in a certain depth in the world, and it makes a hole, and when he sees that, he stays there. Thus, it is a traditional feeling or a belief in India that wherever there is a treasure, there is a snake standing around it, protecting it. We will have to kill that serpent to safely go and take the treasure. Maybe the treasure is your own grandfather kept it there, or great-grandfather kept it there, or neighbors kept it there, but you can't touch it. That fellow, because you are attacking his home, in which he has been living there for the last 3 generations maybe. So he is not going to yield it easily. This is a tradition in Hindu thought. So maintain that. Here is a metaphorical display of poetic exuberance of that Kaladi Brahmin, Sri Shankaracharya. So with a pen in hand, when he is sitting, suddenly he found this Atman, the self, is a great treasure. It is kept there, down below. A serpent is there. Unless you kill it, you can't touch it. So his pen, he immediately put it in the ink and wrote it. It was not a violet pencil that only policeman uses it. Instead of putting it in the mouth, he did it in the ink bottle. How do you know? Don't ask me. I think I have seen it. How can you see it? I don't know, but I think I have seen it. And I don't believe it. You need not believe it, because it doesn't matter. Whether Shankaracharya used the ink and a pen or only an iron needle on the I don't know. But this is how I picture that Brahmin sitting down. Now here is the poem. Brahmananda Nidhi, a great treasure chamber, a treasure. Which is it? Brahmananda. That infinite bliss and beatitude of the substratum of the whole universe, awakened from the plurality perception, you experience that Satchidananda, which is the greatest treasure. Brahmananda Nidhir Mahabalavata. But don't try to go and take it. Extremely ferocious Bala. Mahabalavata, extremely ferocious, ahankara khorahina, ahi, serpent, a most powerful, ferocious snake called the ego is standing there protecting. Think, see the picture? The Atman, the self, the bliss, which is your true nature. It is yours, but it is a treasure. And you can go there and take it, but you can't. Why? This stupid ego ferocious and very powerful, is standing there as Samveshti it covers around coils around the treasure, the Atman, the self, and Rekshate, it protects it. Gunamayaihi chandair stribhir mastakaihi. And this ego snake, ferocious we said, is only because he has got 3 mastakaihi, 3 hoods. It's not one hood. Ego has got 3 hoods. Gunamayaihi, which is of the 3 gunas, the sattva, rajas, tamas, is the ego. And the ego is covering it, protecting this wealth that you can't get it, even though it is your birthright, your great-grandfather's wealth, it is your true nature, but you can't touch it because of this ego is protecting it. Vijnanakhya mahasina, without the great sword, not ordinary a stick is not sufficient. Stones, not sufficient. It must be a machine gun. In those days, this Maha Asinaha, the great sword of what? Vijnana. Visheshena Jnana, direct experience of the Atman. Vijnana, Vijnanakhya, of the name of Vijnana. Mahasina, with that great sword, powerful instrument. Shrutimata, which again you understand it exactly as the Shruti has explained it. Shrutimata, vichidya shirshatrayam, slowly, slowly cut, one by one, these 3 hoods. And the poison is only in the hood. The bottom portion of the snake is very nice. The Chinese eat it. But the Shirshatrayam, these 3 Shirsha, slowly, slowly cut it with the sharp and powerful sword of your own direct experience. By destroying tamas and rajas, increase sattva, and ultimately end that also in detachment. When these 3 heads are detached, the snake of the ego, which was protecting the earth, dies. Nirmulyahi mimam nidhim. After nirmulya, after destroying totally this ahi, this great snake, serpent, nidhim sukhakar, get a hold of that nidhi, that treasure. Which is it? Sukhakaram, which gives you infinite bliss and beatitude. Dhiro nubhuktam kshama. A dhira purusha, one who has purified the mind and intellect, to such an individual, it is capable, it is possible for him to get at this great treasure chamber and take up the treasure and enjoy it. Nitya Sukha, Nitya Shanti.
Yavadvayat kinchit Vishadosha spurtirasti cheddehe Kathamarogyaya bhavet tadvat Ahantapi yogino muktyai.
Yavad, as long as, yet kinjid, even a little, vishadosha, poison is, spurtirasti chedehe, in your body there is a little poison. Potassium cyanide, a little. A bottle of sleeping draught, a little poison. in case thus, even an iota, a little of poison is in your system, kadham arogyaya bhaved, how can there be good health? If your health is not all right, there is some poison in your system, some lack in you, not balanced health. You have been over drinking, poisoned, over smoking, poisoned, overeating, poison. Constipated, but you refuse to recognize. And one-way traffic, you go on eating continuously until at last it comes out as boils and all that in the body. There must be some poison in you. Remove the poison, you are a healthy man. So long as even an iota of a little of poison in any physical system, that system cannot healthily function. So how can arogya, good health, be in that? Bhave tadvad, similarly, ihavi, even here. Yogino mukti, in the yogi, if there is the ego, is a little ego. All ego has gone, but only one ego. I am very regular in my meditation. That is sufficient. A little. I am very pure. I chanted all the Viveka Chudamani stanzas. Surrender, surrender. Where were you? How did you be called here? And this got this chance. It's all Ishvara Kripa. Hey, surrender. No. There was nobody in India to do it. Therefore, even that iota of ego. Not that you have got it, but what I meant was, even an iota of it. All the 4 camps I attended. I'm not an ordinary man. Viveka Chudamani. Chahiye? Very good. Hey Bhagavad Kripa, I have been called there and I was by His grace, I could understand something about it. I am much better than other people. That sort of total surrender is necessary. Hey, but it's only a little ego. Yes, a little poison. Would you like? A little poison. Not that a lot of potassium cyanide you need, not, but a little, a teaspoon. No, that it is a poison, terrible poison. Remove it, avoid it totally. Ahamo.
मोत्यंत निवृत्त्या तत्कृत नाना विकल्प संहृत्या प्रत्यक् तत्व विवेकादिदम् अहमस्मीति विन्दते तत्वम्.
Same idea again repeated, because he knew that in his crowd of disciples there are some dull-end fellows who will not understand because he is half sleepy, and therefore he changed the meter also to wake him up. Because it is a very pleasant meter as before, then he will continue sleeping. So to wake him up. Just as when you are almost sleeping, this ashramam dog barks, you wake up. Similarly, the meter is deliberately changed. Why? So that the fellow who is sleeping in the crowd may wake up. And when you wake up, you can't continue the talk because he has not heard before, so you repeat it. Here you are. Ahamo atyanda nivritya. This aham idea, the ego idea, atyanda nivritya. It is totally removed. Tatkrita nana vikalpa samhritya. And this ego created nana-vida, endless varieties of sankalpa, thought agitations, nivritya, quieted. So the ego is totally retired, and the ego created agitations of the mind, totally quieted. Pratyak tattva vivekadi, pratyak within yourself, tattva the reality, through viveka, through discriminative thinking, as the Shastra has expounded to you, that I am not the five koshas, or the three bodies, or the three states of awareness, but in all of them I am only a Sakshi, and as a Sakshi I am the subject, and in the subject there are no objects, and therefore these objects are not there. They are all apparent illusions for the time being. I am that pure self. That's Viveka. Ahamasmidi vindade tattvam. Ultimately you come to that tattva, the reality. Not as I will experience the reality, I will go there, I will see him, I will embrace him, God will come and embrace me. No such stupidity is there in God. He doesn't want to embrace anybody because everything is he himself. It is something like I embrace myself. Why? There is nobody else and therefore I embrace. Nobody embraces himself. Then what is it? Ahamasmi. I am that Brahman. Not that I saw Brahman, I touched Brahman, the Brahman touched me, and he said, Tathas. I said, give me wife and children. Tathastu. When I came back at home, children are already there. Because Bhagavad Kripa say, that is not it. You awake into that state of consciousness, just as a dreamer wakes up, you wake up into this God state of consciousness.